What is my biggest regret selling on Walmart? Well, I'm about to tell you that and why you need to make sure you have this one thing in place in order to not have the level of regret I have, just like I regret not taking this pimple patch off. So you need to pay close attention to what I'm going to tell you, as it could save you tens and tens of thousands of dollars, particularly during Q4. So I'm super fired up to show you this. I hope you're fired up. Let's do this. All right, so let's talk about what my biggest rant is about Walmart and selling in general. It is the simple fact that I did not have a backup account. So if you do get started on Walmart, this is the number one lesson that I want you to take to heart from this video, is have a backup account. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about the brief history of Walmart first, and then I'm going to talk about why it's so important to have a backup account. But before we even jump into that, just remember my email is below in case you do want to hop on a call and discuss either having this done for you, all full on automation, everything from A to Z, and or if you want to do it yourself with my help, then my email is below in the description. Send me an email and I'll be more than happy to jump on a call with you. But first, here's what I want to say not having a backup account could do to you. It will cripple you specifically during the Christmas holidays. So what do you mean by that, Liz? This is getting really scary. You're scaring the shit out of me. It's scarier than your pimple patch. So what it means is that when you don't have a backup account, you're pretty much at the mercy of Walmart. And what we've learned throughout the history of selling on Walmart is that one thing is 100% guaranteed. And they are very similar to Amazon in this fashion, in that every single holiday season, there is going to be a wave of shutdowns on stores. So what does that mean? Well, it means that regardless of how you're running the store, it could be WFS, it could be drop shipping, it could be legit selling your own product, it could be anything on Walmart, they will start to randomly shut stores down. So when that happens, there's two types of shutdowns. The first, as we know, is a permanent termination, no questions asked. They just cut your account off, shut it down, don't allow you to appeal, don't allow you to say a single word. You're just gone, eliminated. And then they hold your money for approximately 6 months. After that 6 months, you can request those funds be returned to you. You'll get your money back. However, you're pretty much done. So why do they do this? Well, they took a play out of Amazon's book, in where Amazon does this to sort of eliminate a lot of people just in general. So they want a lot less sellers on the platform. And it's also because their warehouses are ridiculously overcrowded. And that is why I said that this not only happens with drop shipping, but it can also happen with WFS, which is just Walmart's version of FBA. So what does this say? Well, it says, as I said before, if you don't have a backup account, you are pretty much at the mercy of Walmart. And without having that backup account, if you get a termination, you're done. You got to just wait. And I'll tell you more about waiting here in a second. The second type of thing that could happen is a suspension. So why is a suspension bad? Well, you'll still get more chances to stay on the platform, but now you've got to wait for Amazon to reactivate your account and reallow you to jump back on and make some sales. That can be bad because, as you know, during holiday season, everything gets slowed down to a snail's pace. So you could just be sitting there waiting. You could have a lot of inventory at Amazon or Walmart, and you're pretty much screwed. You got to just sit and wait. So that's the main reason why having a backup account is essential. You definitely do not want to not have one. And this is why. I'm going to tell you why you cannot afford not to have one in a second. Now, one other suspension before I tell you that they do regularly issue out is what's called a trust and safety suspension. In the past, these suspensions have dealt with a myriad of things, very similar to Amazon's Cox suspensions. No, I'm not making that up, people. I'm not trying to be funny. It is called the Cox Section 3 suspension. It's the good old-fashioned Cox. That Cox suspension will pretty much eliminate you from Amazon, and they will take your money. So not only did you get that Cox, you got your money taken from you. So it happens. Walmart's equivalent to the Cox is their trust and safety, and pretty much is everything that isn't covered by any other type of suspensions will be a trust and safety. In many regards, what happens in a trust and safety is they say that someone is hacking your account or has attempted to hack your account. So they'll remove all the users from your account, they'll suspend the account, and then they will ask for additional information. A lot of times this is used when they're suspicious that you're creating multiple accounts and they want to verify that you are in fact the owner. So this happens quite regularly when that scenario is in play. And this recently happened with a client of mine, and it was really scary when they removed access to all the users. We were like, holy shit, we're all locked out. But the reality was it was just Walmart removing that access. So another thing to note is that every year around this time, when they do eliminate all these accounts, the other thing that happens as a result is they also make it that much more difficult to apply for another store and get back on. So what does that mean? That means that applications which would regularly be approved are no longer approved. And this kind of sucks because it makes a backlog of people trying to get in. And if you were terminated right before the holiday season, you have to sit on the sidelines and wait till after the holiday season to reapply. So you can't start your brand new store until it's the new year, which can be very frustrating for a lot of people, particularly like people that are our clients. They got to sit and wait. It's very frustrating. I understand. I'm in the process myself. I did have a store shut down because of trust and safety myself. It was a personal store, and now I'm sitting around and waiting until my account guys give me a thumbs up and say it's time to reapply. They wouldn't want to push it through because it will just be a waste of the LLC. And what I mean by that is if Walmart declines the LLC, you can never use it again to try and get back on the platform. So that totally sucks. Now here's the good side to that if your store survives this period of time, guess what happens? Your margins go up higher and there is a ton of profit to be made now and moving into the first half of the year, just because the stores now have age on them and there's not as many sellers because of this huge wave of just eliminations from all the rest of the stores. So that is why you should always have a backup store. And that's my biggest regret going into every year is not having that backup store, because it doesn't matter how much I pay for that original store. If I just start to submit other LLCs and have that backup store, then I have it just in case this wave of eliminations happens. And guess what? I've seen it happen every single year without failure. So again, make sure that you do have a backup store. When you get started, at least when you start doing well, start to invest in having a second store just in case. So that's pretty much it for this video. Again, my email is below in case you do want to talk about either full-on automation and or doing it with you, alongside you. Other than that, questions and comments go below. I always personally answer those, and I'll see you guys next time.